think you know Jurassic Park? Well, here's 20 things you may not have known about the most advanced amusement park in the entire world.
Really spectacular, spared no expense.
Jurassic Park's budget was $63 million.
We spared no expense.
It was the highest-grossing film of 1993 and one of the highest-grossing films of all time, grossing over $350 million in the US and more than $900 million worldwide. As a child, director Steven Spielberg visited the Franklin Institute and the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia, which solidified his passion for dinosaurs. Spielberg wasn't the only one after the rights to Jurassic Park. James Cameron, Tim Burton, Richard Donner, and Joe Dante all bid for the rights. With backing from Universal Studios, Steven Spielberg acquired the rights to Michael Crichton's book even before the novel was published for $1.5 million. Universal also paid Michael Crichton $500,000 to write the screenplay. Isla Nublar is said to be off Costa Rica's Pacific coast, but the film shot on location on the Hawaiian island of Kauai. After 25 months of pre-production, filming began on August 24, 1992. However, 3 weeks into shooting, a massive hurricane passed directly over the island. The crew made the most of it and shot several of the storm scenes for the film in the hurricane. Jurassic Park is 127 minutes long, but dinosaurs are only in the film for 15 minutes, 9 minutes of which are Stan Winston's animatronics, and 6 minutes of ILM's CGI dinosaurs. Steven Spielberg was originally going to use a type of stop-motion animation for the dinosaurs and will be supervised by Phil Tippett. Spielberg was unhappy with the stop-motion's realism, but Dennis Muren and ILM convinced Spielberg that they could create photorealistic dinosaurs using CGI. Phil Tippett saw the footage and said to Spielberg, "I think I'm extinct." Spielberg loved that line and threw it in the movie.
We're out of a job. Don't you mean extinct?
But Phil Tippett was far from extinct. He created an animatic for the T-Rex and Raptor scenes, and Spielberg credited him in the film as dinosaur supervisor. Sound designer Gary Rydstrom created many of the dinosaur sounds by mixing different animal noises. The T-Rex roar was from a walrus, a baby elephant, a tiger, and an alligator. His massive footsteps were cut tree trunks crashing to the ground. The raptors were dolphins, walruses, geese, an African crane's mating call, and tortoises mating. Dilophosaurus was a combination of a swan, a hawk, a howler monkey, and a rattlesnake. Brachiosaurus was whale songs and donkey calls. Triceratops was Gary Rydstrom breathing into a cardboard tube, and cows recorded near Skywalker Ranch.
It's okay.
And the Gallimimus were male and female horses. Dr. Alan Grant is based on famous paleontologist Jack Horner and was almost played by William Hurt, Dylan McDermott, or Tom Sizemore. Both Kurt Russell and Harrison Ford were offered the role but turned it down. Ian Malcolm and John Hammond's diametrically opposed ideals about the park are visualized in their black and white wardrobe choices. Jim Carrey auditioned for the part of Ian Malcolm. In the script, Malcolm got scared and ran off. It was Jeff Goldblum's idea for Malcolm to distract the T-Rex so Grant could save the children. Ian Malcolm lays it on pretty thick here, and it must have worked because Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern started dating after meeting on this film. They were engaged for 2 years before calling it quits. But that almost didn't happen because Gwyneth Paltrow and Helen Hunt auditioned for the role of Dr. Ellie Statler.
Life, finds a way.
The ripples in the glass of water were made by plucking guitar strings hidden under the dashboard. With post-production taking so long, Spielberg had to go to Poland to shoot Schindler's List. Spielberg's longtime friend, George Lucas, took over some of the post-production responsibilities. Over 50 CGI effects were used in the film, which at the time was an unprecedented number. One of the more groundbreaking effects at that time that gets overshadowed by the dinosaurs was replacing Lex's stunt double's face with Ariana Richards' face. The Triceratops was shot on location, took 8 puppeteers to operate it, and was the first dinosaur that the actors ever saw. The T-Rex model weighed 9,000 pounds, was 40 feet long, and 20 feet tall. The foam rubber skin soaked up water from the rain, throwing off the calibrations of the animatronic T-Rex, and caused it to shake as if it was cold. And here's a bonus one. Nedry is watching Jaws on one of his computers. That's it for this episode of You Think You Know Movies. Make sure to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and get the latest movie and TV news on ScreenCrush.com.